Well, I'm 19 years old. I've been training pretty focused for the last 4 years, going on 5 years. I now work at a trampoline center, so I practice that pretty much every day, all day. Then before that, loved rock climbing, loved running, loved biking, anything that's movement. I really started getting into parkour because I've always jumped around stuff. It was just kind of being a little kid, having fun. But as I got older, things progressed and it got smoother, got faster, found new ways to do things, and it really just picked up from there. Competition's hard. Everyone's got their own style. Everyone's got their own preferences. So I don't shun it, but it's not something that I'm a huge fan of. But as far as an expedition, I love it. People are just getting together, just having fun. I love practicing with people, learning new things from people, and sometimes people learn new things from me, so it's a lot of fun. At times, I think it can do quite the opposite, especially when you learn something new. You have an ego boost. But on the other side, when you see someone do something that you can't, and you have to go ask them how they did that, you've got to break from your ego. You've got to go talk to them and figure out why they're able to do it and why you're not. So, I would say so, yes. Ego, to me, feels more like you're really full of yourself. You think a lot of yourself, more than you probably should. Self-identity feels more like you just know who you are. One of the biggest things I think I've gained is a lot of friendships, met a lot of new people. It's one of the best parts about it. And in a community, you learn so much more, so much faster. Because everyone's got different skills, everyone's got different talents. It's not just one person learning things, it's an entire group of people learning things. So you pick up a lot of things. I would say, yeah. I did rock climbing, I did biking, so I like climbing things and I like running fast. But the different arts you do, whether that be breakdancing or some kind of martial arts, cross training, whichever one they do, they influence your parkour, they influence your moves, and you'll be able to tell a difference between different people. Breakdancers definitely have a strong upper body at times, depending on what kind of style they do. And I think it just comes through in the moves. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to cross train, and whatever else you want to do, go for it. Parkour to me is seeing a goal, setting that goal, and running to it. That's the easiest way I can explain it. Whether you like to just look powerful or do things more gracefully, that's up to you. But when I'm doing parkour, I just want to get over the object, get over it fast, and get to my destination. Freerunning, it's got a similar taste to it, but I am not as good at flips as some other people, so freerunning can be a challenge at times. But either way, they're both beautiful sports and stuff. I do believe that parkour and freerunning definitely betters yourself. Makes you more mentally aware of your surroundings, makes you more physically fit, mentally fit. In general, it's a sport that it improves you, it betters you, it makes you a better person. I like to draw my inspirations. Well, for one, some of the best in the area as far as parkour goes. It's fun just to watch them try new things, learn things. But then there's inspiration like I like to look at animals sometimes, how they run. Say a panther or something like that. Their movements are so fluid that it doesn't look natural sometimes, but I try to copy that, try to run off that occasionally. And as far as other inspirations, I don't know, being self-motivated as much as possible is great. There's a lot of things you can draw inspiration from, but one of the best, in my opinion, is for parkour anyways. It's just movement, anything that moves, animals, a lot of interesting things. Well, flips are really difficult for me. And my process to overcome that was lots of help from other people. Doing front flips, I was doing it wrong for a long time, needed help. Because it's hard to see what you're doing, it's hard to see what you're doing wrong. Same thing with like backflips and things like that. Just finding that courage to do one. It was a process of just trusting somebody else to help you with it. I think at first backflips, it's really hard to trust yourself with something that you haven't done before. And it's like that with anything, whether that be driving a car or flying an airplane, riding a bike, things like that. And they come natural eventually, but it's really hard to find that courage to sum up in the very beginning. And in my mind, I knew I could probably do it. I know I jump high. I know I move, and I've been flipping on trampolines for years. But when it came to the ground, there was just another element about it that it wasn't the same. A space where you can go to share and create new friends, express new ideas, and really just learn about how the culture of your sport is going. I don't have an issue with it, at least with people who are, I enjoy more people in the sport. What I do have an issue with is people who really aren't into it that much, just kind of lazing about it. If you're going to do something, I don't know, I think you should do it to the best of your ability anyways. And before you can really say that you do parkour, you should have some kind of training regimen, regular exercises, things like that. Go to groups, get into it. Not just jumping from rock to rock saying that now you're a parkour artist. I have not actually gotten that injured with parkour. I've fallen a couple times, a couple scrapes here and there. Living out here in Phoenix, doing parkour in the middle of summer, grabbing a hot ledge and listening to my fingers sizzle, that kind of stuff. But honestly, I have not had that bad of injuries. I've had worse injuries on trampolines actually. I've sprained my ankle, pulled my back out once or twice. When I injured my ankle, I just had to take a new approach to things. I couldn't just jump up or jump down from a ledge on 2 feet anymore. Had to make sure I was very careful, almost roll every time. There's things you find that you just can't do with the full strength of your ankle anymore, but over time, with lots of practice and lots of stretching, exercising, strengthening, you're able to get most of your mobility back. It just takes a while. For me, I have the advantage of being able to work in a trampoline center, so I practice movement, I practice flow every day. Maybe not on hard surfaces, but it's still movement. So then a lot of that does actually transfer to outside. Before I started working, at the trampoline center, I mean, there's a lot of things I couldn't do before. Jumping over stuff, while flipping, stuff like that. And in general, my body just feels stronger, more agile, and I feel like I can do more now just because I worked there. So in that sense, I think I balanced my life and parkour. I don't do as much parkour as I wish I did because I'm working so much, but again, because I work in the trampoline center, it's a nice advantage. I can move about almost every day. I really think that when training, especially for a sport like parkour, you can't train with weights. You can't train with machines. You need to train with purely yourself and your body. Because parkour is about moving your own body. If you can't do that, if you don't have the coordination to do that, you need to build it up. And lifting weights, pumping metal, whatever they want to call it, it's not going to be the same as just going out there, practicing the moves, or even practicing one part of a move extensively, just to get your body used to that and improve on something. It's not the same. So you need to be out there doing things. You can't be in a gym just lifting weights. I train because I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, really. Between just getting a bit of adrenaline to go through you and the feeling of accomplishment, it's a great feeling. Again, I don't like competition so much, but self-improvement, learning from others and teaching others, it's something I love to do. Well, when practicing alone, some of the things that run through my head, it's very peaceful. Think about your movements, and at times it works great, especially if you're just training for something that you've done before. But when it comes to doing something new, it can be really hard to do it by yourself. At times, scary. I thoughts of what happens if no one's around and I hurt myself. And really, when you're training with multiple people, whether that be one or two more, the way I see it, confidence is something that grows the more people you have, and it's shared and created with a lot of people. So the more people you have, the more confident you are probably to do something that you haven't done before. But really, it just depends on who you are. Some people even like training alone all the time just because it's just who they are. It depends on what you like to do. My process, I wouldn't say as much different than anyone else's. I mean, there's the conception of the goal, thinking about what is it that you want to achieve. After that, there is how do you achieve it, and starting to achieve it, and just working on that goal until you've actually reached it. And with parkour, different moves require different things. Tractor. But say in parkour with let's just take a proper cat, like long distance cats, for example. My goal was about 8 feet, and I knew I wanted to jump at least 8 feet onto a ledge or something like that. And it was like a 6-foot ledge, something around that. But you work up to it. Start at 4 feet, go to 5 feet, 6 feet, When things start getting bigger, just starting to visualize it in your head, seeing what you're really going to be doing. And that's how I learn most of my things, most of my moves. I'll work up to it. If it's multi-step process like backflips, it was all about just practicing the individual moves, visualizing it in my head. And once I've practiced enough, having someone there just to help me. And eventually you get it. I do consider myself a leader, at least at work. Teaching kids, I like to lead by example. I see myself as a mentor of how to make yourself more active, more fit lifestyle. I like to try new things, and I like to be expressive, creative. But I also like to share my creations and my expression with other people. So in that sense, that's why I believe I am an artist at heart, anyways. Whether that be my work with parkour and freerunning, my tricks and acrobatics on trampoline, or even my CG art, stuff like that I do on the side. But I love being expressive, and I'm an expressive person. That's who I am. It depends on the sport. With parkour and freerunning, definitely. Being able to visualize your moves, being able to see like what might flow better, what might feel better, what might even look better, just depends. And there's various sports that do that, whether that be parkour and freerunning, or even something like trials biking, or not so much rock climbing, I would say, but sometimes, or acrobatics especially. It's all about just the movement, and or things like or mountain biking, downhill anyways. It's all about speed, precision, and just being fluid with your movements. But yeah, there is definitely a line between athlete and artist, but those two cross together.